Hey everyone, here I am next to all my GPU mining rigs. This is my PC here. This is what sits behind it. So whenever you see me on camera, I'm normally sitting there and all my GPUs are there. What I'd like to do in this video is test the power all these graphics cards are using. This is something that all miners have to do, but in the current situation, well, let's be honest, it's not a great time to be a GPU miner. Profits are down, some cards aren't even breaking even, and we're seeing a lot of people selling their 10 series and 9 series cards. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but for those that remain, power efficiency, which is always something that we should always focus on as far as bringing the power down of your GPUs when you're actually mining, bring it down to 60% or 65%, finding that sweet spot. One of the things you have to do is track your power usage. Now, I unfortunately haven't been doing that. When I first bought all this equipment, I bought a power meter, and it allowed me to test and see how much I was actually using, how much electricity I was using on a daily basis. But I sent it back because it didn't have a backlight. And in hindsight, that was stupid, but I sent it back. I was like, well, I want one with a backlight. Things got in the way, and I didn't actually buy one. So I went out and I've bought one. This is one from Nashone, a high accuracy power meter, model number PM80. This does have a green backlight. It says here, a big LCD with green backlight, LCD display, displays voltage, current, power, frequency, max current, max power, total kilowatt hours, total cost. 2 tariffs, can set nighttime tariff as well. It's got a lot of cool settings. What I'd like to do is test this and test the power of all my GPUs. So I'll just give you a brief explanation of how I've got this set up. I've got 4 mining rigs here, right? So there's 5 units, but this unit, I don't have anything in the top here. So I've got 4 GPU mining rigs. The bottom rig is 1060s, and it's 8 1060s. Next one, 8 1060s. Next one, 8 1060s, and then at the top here, I've got 5 1080 Ti's. So in total, in all of these units here, I have 29 GPUs. Now, I have another GPU. This is my 30th GPU. This one is in my main PC. This one, when I'm recording, when I'm doing any work, any video editing, any kind of work at all, I normally disable it. But when I'm away from the PC, I normally switch the 1080 Ti back on and I let it mine. So this one is powered separately, but I was actually checking the power supplies there, and I was checking how it was all connected up, and the bottom rig right now is actually connected to another adapter, so it's powered up at that wall, whilst the other 3 are going through that wall. So what I'm going to do for this test is switch off all these GPUs, all these mining rigs, turn them off. I'm going to switch the bottom rig, which was powered over there, move it back over here, and then I'm going to attach the Nash one, and we're going to see how much power it actually uses. So right now, let's have a quick look and just see what this is actually like. So this is the power meter, guys. As you can see, it comes with the green backlight. It can do lots of different things. It can be used for lots of different things. I think it looks quite good. And you can see the max ratings there as well, all the voltage measurements. But I won't bore you with that, because you can check all that on Amazon. So, fairly simple. Comes with a manual, shows me how to use it, and then we've got the power meter itself. So this is the power meter. There's buttons for value, display, reset, set OK, history. There's the screen, which is going to be backlit. There's the UK 3-prong adapter. And there's a part here, I believe it's for the battery in the back, but I won't be needing that. So what I need to do now is switch off all my rigs and then connect this up. So all rigs have been booted back up. All I did was switch it off, and then I moved the power supply for this one, the FK T2, and I moved it round to the side there. So if you look at this adapter here, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the back there. So there's 4 rigs attached to this one adapter. So this is the Nashone power meter, and you can see I've got my power surge protector, my multi-adapter plugged in through it, and this goes into the wall. And whenever I push it, the green light comes on. So we'll zoom in a little bit here, I'll come in a little bit closer. There we go, you should be able to see that now. So it's a lovely big green display that comes up, and you go in and you can change things. You can see the history and all that as well. Shows you the power consumption daily, monthly. But you can change things in the settings area there. And what you can do is set the kilowatt hour, you can set the time, you can set a tariff for the night time as well, a nighttime charge, and you can set greenhouse consumption as well. But for me, you can go all these things here: time, cost, greenhouse, and there's the current time. But for me, the main one I wanted to see, if I change the things at the top here with the value, these work as plus and minus here, but the value I want to see is watts. So I can see there, if I go in a little bit closer, I can see here that my rigs are currently using 2,700 and about 30 watts on average. So I can see 2.7 kilowatts I use, and that is something I need to use in my calculations as far as how much my rigs cost. And it's a very simple thing, this, you know, it's only like £15 to buy, but this is something that I should have bought a long time ago. So this was a close-up of the Nashone high accuracy power meter. I'm quite impressed with what it can do. It's a very simple thing, but I'm quite impressed. But really this video wasn't about this power meter, it really wasn't. It's really about the importance of tracking how much electricity that you're using. And clearly, with a rig like this, I'm using a lot of electricity, especially in the UK when electricity costs are quite high. I did track electricity in the beginning, and it was one of the first things I bought, and it's one of the first things I tracked. The mistake that I made, I think, is that, well, I forgot about the importance of it, because I tested it initially and then I was like, I don't like this, I don't like the way that the other one worked. I returned it, but I did know how much this all used. By the time I was running all these rigs at like 90% efficiency, 90% power. But that changed over time. You know, when I became more accustomed with GPU mining, when I became more experienced, I learned to tweak my GPUs, I learned to underpower them and make them more efficient. And I wasn't able to track, you know, the reduction in power usage when I did that. So that was a mistake on my end. And yeah, I mean, you might look at, you know, might see that I've got a YouTube channel and you say that I'm quite experienced, but I still make mistakes, and I think this was a mistake that I did make. I should have been tracking this a little bit earlier and seeing how much power I was using. I had a rough estimate of how much I was using because, you know, I've got 3 rigs on Hive OS, and that says that each rig is using about 500 watts or so, just a little bit over 500 watts. I could see an Awesome Miner that my other rig was using about maybe 700, 800 watts. But those platforms, Hive OS, Awesome Miner, and all these other solutions, they don't tell you how much the motherboard is using. The RAM, the fans, the hard drive, all these things, you know, they might be quite insignificant in a little way in comparison to GPUs, but they all add up. And when you total up 4 or 5 computers, you know, all those little amounts of watts add up, and I'm probably about 400 and 450 watts higher than what the Hive OS and Awesome Miner was showing me, because those ones aren't tracking the power usage for my motherboard and all these other accessories. So now I know when I'm doing calculations, I need to put in that I'm using 2,700 watts. It's a hell of a lot, it really is, and especially in this environment. So what this is going to make me do is go back and check my calculations, check what's profitable, check what's not. But it's something that I should have did a long time ago, especially living in the UK with high electricity costs. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I've got all my rigs up and running again. Just a simple shutdown and then reboot so that I can take the plug out and put it back in. Quite a simple thing, this, but it's very cheap to buy. It's very useful, and it's something I should have been tracking a long time ago. So thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Cheers.